everyone, and welcome to this goal check-in. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Diana. I am a landscape and travel photographer. I vlog my life and my travels, and I wanted to do a 2025 goals video. However, with my travel schedule, bright and early January 1st, I was already on a plane to Las Vegas, and by the time I got back and kind of had some breathing room, I felt like talking about goals mid to late January was already a little bit too late. But now that we're starting to roll into April, Q1 is over, the winter time is over. So I thought it'd be really fun to kind of share my goals, reflect on how I've been doing so far in the first 3 months, talk about spring goals. Hopefully you'll find this video inspiring. I like to have a lot of like check-offable goals, a lot of quantifiable goals. I like to make lists of new fun things to do, to push myself to go out there and explore. I have my notebook here, which has my written down goals. So let's just go through quickly and talk about the goals real quick. I wrote down 25 activities, but I put a couple more as I've thought about them. And these are just things that I can kind of check off the list as fun, little, easy to do goals. Let's talk about the goals I tend to put on my list every year, which is to go to a new city, a new state, a new country. And this year I've added to visit a new national park. So I only have 11 states left. I'm very excited to get the 50 done. Like I just can't believe how much I've done. Also I need to change this. I wrote 50 movies. I don't know who I was back in January. I do not watch a movie a week. I would love to. It feels like something I could do, but spoiler alert, so far this whole year, I've only seen one movie, which was Hunters of Beavers, which is really, really funny. But I have not been watching movies. However, reading 50 books is something that I tend to do regularly. Reading 50 books is something I've been able to achieve the past couple of years. Last year I read 60. The year before that I read somewhere in the 50 to 60 mark. The year before that I cracked like 70. But reading 50 books is something that actually happens, which is funny because books are much longer than movies. I don't know. The thing with, I listen to a lot of audiobooks so I can multitask and drive. And that tends to go through books pretty quickly. I want to do 10 new hikes, try 5 new recipes, check out 10 new Seattle-based restaurants or cafes, bars, just trying to keep those Seattle-based. I started that last year and that really made me want to try new places and new areas in Seattle a bit more. So really great motivation for that. So those are kind of the reoccurring ones. So let's talk about the more specific activity things that it would be fun. So I want to take a boxing class. I want to get a Thai style massage. I want to get a lash lift. I would like to make no knead bread. I've seen some recipes on TikTok. And I just hate the feeling of like wet bread dough. Oh God. I would love to go see a show in the Gorge. It's so beautiful and stunning. We almost went to go see Hosier last year, but it's something I feel like I'm not a true like Washingtonian since I haven't gone to the Gorge. The Gorge is on the east side of Washington State, this big river carved out canyon, and people perform there and camp there, and it's this whole big experience. I need to go. I need to do it at least once, and hopefully this year. I'm wanting to take a train trip somewhere, especially like in the US. I did take trains in Europe, but I don't know, I really wanted to try it in the US. Set up the garden. I do have a small green patch at my house that I really want to kind of set up to do like outdoor yoga, have some plants growing, and maybe a little bit of seating for outdoor eating, but just setting up that little garden space that I have. It's just been on my back burner for a long time. I would love to learn some like music production. This is gonna be really difficult to kind of fit into my schedule, but I would like to self-teach myself like how to record or mix or do electronic, just any sort of music production. Music used to be such a big part of my younger life, and it's something that besides doing karaoke, I don't really consistently like touch base with or practice or do. So I would love to get into music production and I don't know, just kind of like scratch a different part of the creative brain, you know? I want to check out Alki Lighthouse. This is something that only can be done in the summers, and you need to go on specific days. I think it's Sundays with a tour. I don't imagine that the lighthouse is going to be anything too crazy different than the other ones I've done in Seattle or Washington, but the completionist in me is like, you should go check it out. I want to kayak to Blake Island. Blake Island is a park Native American reservation island that's only accessible by private charter or the Argosy tours, which I have not done the Argosy tours. There's a couple different ones, but they seem a little too expensive. I'm not sure. But I do hear people kayak there all the time. From West Seattle to the island is 5 miles, which would be pretty intense, but maybe it's something I can do. I don't know anybody with boats anymore. Maybe that should be on my list. Make a friend that has a boat. I want to learn Spanish this year, do the Duolingo, maybe go to like some Spanish meetup groups, but trying to learn another language, grow my social media channels. I've been wanting to see the improv that takes place at Pike Place in what is it called? Post Alley by the gum wall. Every time I'm at Pike Place, I just see signs for it. So one of these days I want to go see improv. Last year, I really wanted to go to a comedy show that was on my 2024 list. And I've really been enjoying going to comedy. So specifically, I want to go to improv, which should be like a different style of event. In the late summer slash maybe hopefully the fall, I want to do the Vance Creek rails. These are, you get to like ride railroads through the forest in like the southern part of like the Washington Peninsula, and I imagine during the fall time you'll be able to go through so much of the beautiful like fall foliage. That has been on my list for a while and I just haven't. I would love to get a buccal massage. I love the idea of like a face massage, the lymphatic drainage, all of that jazz, but specifically like put the gloves on, put your fingers in my mouth and like get in there. I almost booked one at the Face Gym in LA the last time I was there, but I didn't. So hopefully there's something like that here in Seattle. I would love to go to a Korean spa here. I've been to some Lady Day spas here, but I haven't been to like the ones that I've seen in other areas that are where they really scrub you. I've heard about them scrubbing the daylights off of you and becoming like a squeaky clean new baby. So I'd love to go to a Korean day spa, spend the day there, get scrubbed away. I would like generally to do more biking, especially during the not rainy months of Seattle of the year. And I would like to bike the Burke-Gilman Trail, which is a trail starting from Ballard, and it goes all along the waterways that separate like South and North Seattle, like the Fremont Cut and then Lake Union and then the cuts over that take you to like Lake Washington. I would love to do that. I believe it's like 17 miles. I would also love to do sake tasting. Every time that I have sake, I'm always just in love and on it and just think I need to drink more of it. And there are at least 2 places in Seattle that do sake tastings that I would like to check out. And then lastly, pickleball. I feel like I just want to be part of the zeitgeist of it, though I do think it's not becoming as popular as the zeitgeist is like tampering down a little bit, but I've seen people play pickleball at some of the fields. One of my friends wanted to join a league. I've been wanting to join or do like a regular sporting event, especially in the warmer months. Like I had friends that did volleyball at Golden Gardens and Alki. But yeah, I have been wanting to do like a sport and like a community sport. So check-in wise. So for a check-in for these activities, I've not done any of them. I haven't really started much of them. Done quite a bit of traveling in the winter time, but it's been to a lot of places that I've been to before, like Cape Disappointment, Las Vegas, Death Valley, Zion, Phoenix. So I've gone to newer places there, but as a whole, I haven't gone to any new national parks or cities or anything like that. I have some ideas of what I would like to do for the year. I am going to Miami in a couple weeks, and I should be able to cross off I'm hoping to go to Biscayne National Park, which will be new to me. I've been to the Everglades before because I'm from Florida. I'll be really excited to go to the Everglades and explore and photograph it as an adult. Same thing with Miami. I don't even know if I really went to Miami as a child. I'm not counting it. I'm hoping to go to some other states or areas this year. We'll see. With books, I believe my Goodreads says I'm 2 books ahead of schedule. So I am on track for my books. I believe I've read close to 10. I've read 13 books this year and I'm just about to finish 2 more. So my book goal is doing well. If I had to pick my favorite book that I've read this year so far, I've read a couple good ones. Oh yes, I just read I Who Have Never Known Men, 5 stars. I don't even know where to begin. It is such a magical, thought-provoking experience. Maybe we'll do a book video and we'll talk about 5-star reads in that. But I Who Have Never Known Men has really just sat and stayed with me and loved it. The Echo Wife, this is about a woman who is working on cloning and then her husband makes a clone of her and impregnates it. I also read My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which I feel like was a super popular book a couple years ago. That one is about a woman who just kind of wants to sleep away her life until she is reborn, and fascinating stuff. Yeah, definitely need to finish up on my nonfiction. The 2 books that I'm reading and will finish this week is Disposable City, which is about Miami facing climate change. I have really been enjoying that one. And then John Green's new book, Everything is Tuberculosis, which is my pick for my book club. And that has been really lovely in terms of, I really enjoy the strong narrative in that it really just feels like a podcast. So that has been very, very digestible and I'm excited for that to be book club pick. Books are on track. Like I mentioned earlier, I really should change it to 10 movies. There are plenty of movies that I want to see. I have a long list. I don't know, just sitting down and watching it, I don't know. But will I watch a whole season, 2 seasons of Severance this year? Yes. Will I watch Common Side Effects? Yes. Like I have TV shows that I follow and watch. I'm slowly getting through The Sopranos. But no, not movies. And I would like to watch more movies that are more culturally and critically acclaimed, like building a better repertoire of like classic movies. That's what I would really enjoy, is very, very new movies and classic movies. But I always say winter is the time for movie watching season, but I have completely failed at this. And that's fine. That's fine. I've been doing a lot of other stuff. That's fine. But yeah, some of these other activities are definitely more summer, warmer weather inspired. I've been tracking my Seattle restaurants and cafes. I'm actually almost done with this. 6. I've gone to 6 new places, mostly being cafes. Once summer rolls around, I definitely know me and my friends will be doing our weekly going out to lunches, which was a major way that I checked out a lot of new restaurants last year, was doing my weekly lunches. And I'm so excited for the sunshine to be out at the market at Pike Place because there's so many really fun options and things to find there. And now there's a lot of lovely seating to be out in the sun by the water. I'm just very excited for that for summer. Movies, Hundreds of Beavers. I will be happy if I get 10 movies this year. I wrote down some travel goals and so far none of them. I like to write out some like big travel goal ideas, kind of like a manifesting type thing. None of these are on the books yet, and my year has already kind of fallen into place travel scheduling wise, but we will see. Japan, Norway, Ireland, Chelan. I really want to go to Lake Chelan. It's like one of, talking about things that make me not like a Washingtonian, it's one of the last places in Washington I haven't really checked out, but usually the summers get booked up, or by the time we have some time to go, fire season starts. And Chelan is just on the other side of the Cascades, and there's usually a crap ton of fires that happen in the eastern side of the state because it's just drier. But one of these days I'll get to Chelan. Lake Ross up north has some really cool hiking opportunities, cabins on the lake, Would really like to dedicate a weekend to that, but we'll see. New cities that I was hoping to go to is maybe one of my new cities for the year. And new cities, I just try and do like a bigger, larger city. Baltimore, Atlanta, New Orleans, Charleston. I haven't been to any of those. Don't know if I'll make it out there. I most likely will get to Milwaukee, and that might be my city for the year, which would be fine. I mean, hopefully there'll be more, but we shall see. With hikes, I have done 4 hikes this season, which is great. I've actually done a lot of half hikes. I wanted to do completed hikes to kind of feel that fullness. But there were numerous hikes that we did in like the Columbia River Gorge or Death Valley or whatnot, where we only did about half of them. Either we just didn't have time, or like I got snowed out on the hike that we did in Oregon. But the 4 new hikes that I've done this year was Pine Canyon Overlook in Zion National Park, White Dome, I believe we completed the whole thing at Valley of Fire in Nevada, doing the stupid Liberty Arch in Arizona, which I'm just unreasonably angry about. Unreasonably angry about this. This is the arch. This is the stupid arch. And then we did Oyster Dome, but I do feel like at another point I will have to do Oyster Dome again because it was completely fogged over. I actually did create a winter bucket list. I went into this winter really worried about the darkness, loneliness, sadness, all of those things. And I wanted to try and get myself out of the house and get myself out more and socialize and reconnect with the city and embrace winter. And I think I did that a little bit, but I also think this winter was easier to do because it was such a bright and dry winter. I did have a very, very full winter with a lot of social plans and events. So let's see what I wanted to do. Make gingerbread cookies soft. I did not do that. That is a Christmas thing. I did not do that. I did go do a cookie decorating party and eat soft gingerbread cookies, which was fabulous. Go to the Seattle Art Museum every winter. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful to go to the art museum when it's raining and gloomy or whatnot. I have been to the Seattle Art Museum a couple times before, and there is a new installation. Ai Weiwei is there for, he's coming in the next couple weeks, and I think he's here for about a year or until September, so a long time. So definitely want to go to the art museum for that. Not a wintry activity, but still. Go to Seattle Jazz Club. One of the things, there were 2 big like Seattle things that I wanted to kind of find and carve out for myself, being Seattle Jazz, the Seattle Jazz scene, and finding like good Italian food in Seattle. I feel like the itch has been scratched for the Seattle Jazz Club scene. There are many, many more clubs that I want to check out, but going to the Seattle Jazz Fellowship was fabulous. It really was like the perfect thing that I had been looking for a while. What we went to is on Monday nights in Pioneer Square. It's a free event. They have a house band. The house band will play, and then people will just show up and play instruments, and then they'll call up, you know, John on saxophone, Jane on the drums, Joey on bass guitar, so-and-so on this, like just giving out parts, and then they'll play a song together and jam and solo, and a really, really cool event. I want to go again, and I have other jazz clubs that I want to check out as well, but that definitely feels like it's something that was successfully completed this year for me, is finding really good Seattle jazz. Now I just need to go more. I want to go to the ice caves, but I think the ice caves is every time I think about going to the ice caves, it's just the wrong time of year. And something else put me off to the ice caves this year. I don't remember what it was. I think technically you see it in the summer, but then it melts and you don't want to go in because the ice can like fall on you and kill you. I don't know. I wanted to get fondue. Where? What? Probably somewhere. Maybe a chocolate fondue or a cheese fondue. I don't know. I wrote down secret congee, which is something I did do in November around my birthday. We went there for breakfast and it was so good. I'm not really a sweet breakfast or a sweet oats person, but savory oats and stuff sounds really fun, and they have more flavors. I got the turkey balls, I think, the turkey meatballs on it, but I would love to do their blue crab one time. Definitely want to go back. I wrote down some coffee shops, so far concerts, going out to trivia, getting out every day, workout classes, snowshoeing. I did snowshoe Mount Baker, so that is excellent. I'm actually feeling very happy and productive and proud about the winter that I had. I felt like I really went out, even though I didn't do the specific things like weekly trivia or I wanted to go to like a coffee shop once a week. I really didn't do that. I traveled a lot. I met up with friends a lot, started doing workout classes again, checked out some new different events and things. So in a way, I felt like I really did fill up my cup with that social battery, which I wanted to discuss. I wrote down a couple pillars of my life, just kind of seeing if it felt really helpful to kind of make these categories, and then I could be reflective on if I am going in a way that is aligning with my goals in those certain categories, because I can feel very overwhelmed. As you can see, and as we've kind of talked about throughout this, social and travel have been very full, and those tend to always be the easier ones to do, as well as I have Seattle exploration. Like I talked about with it being wintertime, I just really wanted to reconnect with Seattle and to constantly like fall in love and like remember why I choose to live here and why I am here for like the long haul and finding and discovering new things. And I think this is just important for wherever you live, to kind of reconnect with your community and be in touch with politics and business and other people doing workout classes or organizations and clubs, like just being a part of the city that you live in. So social, travel, and Seattle exploration have been successfully fulfilled, I feel like, in this box. Other things that I have are like my photography jobs and businesses. I have definitely made some beautiful strides in that avenue with certain other projects, and I'm really proud about that I have done, and I am constantly adding things to my photography business to-do list, and I have a lot of really fun ideas with that, so I am thankful for that to kind of keep going and building and to being inspired. I've joined a entrepreneur collective that I go to once a month, and I'm just around people that are doing their own businesses, not just photography, but and being really inspired by the connections that we've made and the workshops that we've done. Like I've found that really inspiring. So from my photography business side, I am really proud of a lot of the strides that I've done. Social media, I feel like I have a good consistency on YouTube and Instagram, but I feel like I still want to see more growth, and I would like to focus more on short form videos, which just kind of getting in the groove or routine of those things. So I am wanting to spend a little bit more time on short form for the social media side of growth that I'm hoping for this year. Fitness. Oh. I have wonderful ideas for fitness, and when I'm in town and when my friends are in town and we do our classes, I feel good. I feel like I am going out and working out at pretty intense classes like twice a week. But with traveling on my end, on other people's ends, other projects and other social things coming up, like I feel like I was doing good for like a month and a half, and then I've taken like a 2 to 3 week kind of like bleh period. My two major goals that I really want to focus on this year is cardio and endurance type workouts. So running and stair steppers. I really want to just be able to like run up mountains. Going uphill is still quite unpleasant for me, and I'm wanting to strengthen that, especially for hiking this summer. And I want to work on my core. I've been consuming a lot of research about core muscles, and I just want to have core strength. I really haven't had core strength ever, and I think it's important for like longevity, for posture, for all of that stuff. So those are kind of like my two main things. And with that, I would like to get in the routine of going on daily walks or doing daily cardio, whether that be a walk or going to the gym, as well as daily or semi-regularly, maybe every other day, workout videos, whether that be like at home or going to the gym and using the stair climber. I have a lot of really fun YouTube channels that I follow that can do like at-home Pilates or dumbbell workouts, and I just really need to get in the groove of doing it. I need to set up a specific place and then just like, I think I always want to be a morning workout person, and I'm just not. I wake up and I am stiff and I'm ready to like go do everything else in the day. I'm ready, you know, I want to work every other project but working out because pain. So I think that's why my evening workout classes tend to work really well. So maybe I need to make this an evening thing. That might be the best way for success. So I think that is something I would give that a half pass with how my workout classes have been, with hiking, with trying to walk more, but I definitely want to do a lot better. I was debating going back and doing college courses, but I think I'm gonna put a pin on that. So that was a pillar that I initially kind of thought about, and right now it just doesn't make sense. So we'll put a pin on further education to like another time if I still want to. And then investing and financial planning, I feel like I have been consuming a lot more information about financial health planning, like just how the markets work and what needs to be done. And I'm just feeling very motivated and inspired to, I don't know, be a little more active in my finances and saving up for bigger trips and just having a better, I don't know, just putting a little more effort and time into it. And so I feel like I am in the learning stages and I'm a little scared to invest. I guess a low market is a good market. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm in the learning stages, which is I feel proud of. So, and probably the only other one that I have failed on this list is music as a pillar, which is something I have just done nothing and have not even thought about how to incorporate this like new hobby or activity in my life. So that is a fail. That's okay, because a lot of these other avenues have been really successful, and yeah, feeling good about it, feeling really good, feeling very productive on top of a lot of things. I want to quickly go over some spring goals. Summer is usually like the more busier, fun. My summer bucket list is already much longer. I think this will be perfect for spring goals. I want to plant some herbs and some flowers, like talking about before with like my gardening and getting that space in order. I don't think that will be done by that time, but I would like to start gardening. I want to plant some lupine, which takes 365 days to grow. And I thought about doing it last year and I didn't. And if I had done it, I would have had lupine. So I got to do it for 2026, Diana. I also want to go see the tulips. It is a Washington must. I want to go, I'm bringing a friend that hasn't been before. We already have it scheduled on the calendar, so that's excellent. As well as go see the cherry blossoms, which I also have scheduled with another group of friends on the calendar. That is now actually, the cherry blossoms are just waiting for the tiniest little bit of sunshine for them to explode. So very excited for that. April travel. April has kind of started to become one of my more favorite months to travel. I've done a couple, last year I was in San Diego and LA. The year before that, I don't know if I traveled in April. And then the year before that, I was in Phoenix, and then I drove up the California coast. It has just been so fun in April to run around chasing wildflowers and blooms, but also it not being too crazy hot yet and not too crazy busy. So yeah, April I've really been looking forward to as like a travel month or time. And this year, of course, going to Miami. Very excited. I actually don't know if there are any blooming wildflowers in Miami. I don't know. I'll have to do a little bit more research. I want to go to the farmers markets. There are several, not just Pike Place, but each neighborhood has their own. So definitely want to go try out some local produce. I want to try a new spring recipe, most likely some sort of salad. But yeah, I want to like embrace spring produce and make a spring recipe with it. I want to get more into bike riding. Like I said, once we actually get not wet roads, I think going for a fun bike ride either around some of the lakes or trails will be just delightful. And I want to go to a coffee shop that has a spring menu and get a spring coffee. I love seasonal things. So anytime I see a seasonal menu item, I always just get very, very excited, and that's how I like to embrace the seasons. I want to burn some more springtime candles. Right now I'm burning a lot of citrusy or cotton, sea salt, coconut, just some nice light, sweet, floral, fruity, bright and sunny type scents. I also would like to have more flowers in the house, like maybe getting a bouquet every now and then, as well as putting out some spring decor. So those are my spring goals. Every year I always want to do like an Easter or spring party, but I definitely know I don't have time this year. I definitely know this is not the year, so I'll just have to push that off till next year. Have I talked your ear off enough? That has been my Q1 reflections and spring goals so far. I'm feeling really inspired. I'm feeling like I have done a lot of things, but I also have a lot more exciting things to do, which is always great for motivation. I want to know what your guys' goals are. How are you guys doing with your 2025 goals? I definitely want to hear about your spring goals. I want more and more inspiration. And I'll be excited to come back at the start of summer to talk about how our spring goals and everything spring went, and how if I've actually done and can like finally check off some of these activities, man. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.